Today we're going to talk to you about Warlocked. Our group consists of Tyler, Parker, Nicholas, Noah, and Mark.
Warlocked is a top-down 2D roguelike action RPG with a focus on boss fights, and it's a throwback to the old arcade games that you could sit down and play in one sitting. It tends to be very unforgiving and quite difficult, but we hope the bosses are memorable.
We utilized a lot of different AI topics in our game, but they can be broken down into two main categories, the AI companion and the boss attacks. Our AI companion uses a lot of decision trees, state machines, and the simple rules that we gave it and how they interact with the boss and the player results in a lot of emergent behavior. Now the boss attacks, the main focus of our game, we really wanted to make sure they were varied and interesting. So we incorporated filtered randomness, flocking, formations, scripting, triggers, and dead reckoning to make the attacks unique and memorable. We'll show off how all of these topics are utilized in the game demo a little bit later.
For the development process of Warlocked, we could not meet in person all the time, so we worked remotely over Discord. However, we met in person every other week to discuss the current state of our game and remain on track. As we developed Warlocked, we maintained 4 goals. We wanted to develop difficult and memorable bosses that could be tackled with flexible and different playstyles based off of their character. We wanted the player to feel empowered and not limited by the game, but we did want them to be limited by their skills. Bosses should not be able to be tackled the first time they play the game.
So now for the results of our playtesting. We made sure to hold several playtesting sessions throughout the development of our project. We used some of the feedback to adjust our health bar locations, such as from under the character to a fixed location on the screen due to it being hard to keep track of during combat. We also balanced attack values, such as increase the attack speed of certain characters to make combat feel more fluid, and then we adjusted the boss health accordingly. We also balanced some skills, such as the mage skills, which sometimes felt underwhelming, as well as the rogue skills, which were sometimes too overpowered. We also adjusted some of our boss attack patterns, such as remove the boss reflect mechanic, but instead added walls that close in on the player. And then due to player suggestion, we also added an AI companion. And now we're going to show you our game demo.
Alright, so here's our character select screen where you can see we have our rogue and our mage. The rogue offers a more evasive skill kit, giving an ability such as a smoke screen that allows him to hide from the boss that he's fighting, and the mage on the other hand has a less risky moveset where he has a heal so he can take damage but also recover some health at the same time. So for the demo, I'm going to pick the mage.
So after the character select screen, the first thing that you're going to see is just a simple explanation for the controls. We want to make sure that the player knows what they're doing. And after you hit got it, the tutorial should disappear. And if you look up top, that's going to be the boss health bar. So when you're fighting the boss, as you hit the boss, the health bar is going to decrement until it is empty and the boss dies. To the bottom left is your health bar, and then when you actually get an ally after defeating the earth boss, their health bar will be on the right. At the bottom of the screen on the left is going to be your skill cooldown, and on the right is going to be your dodge cooldown. This is the staging scene between the 2 boss fights. We wanted to create a solemn atmosphere that would remind the player of funerals. So we have some creepy music and there are torches off to the side that float in midair. Down below is going to be the door to the fire boss, and if you manage to defeat the earth boss, you will be allowed entry. But the actual earth boss is going to be up above.
So now for the earth boss. So here are some of the movesets the earth boss has. He tries to spawn walls, which use formations for the blocks, and if they close in on you, they'll instantly kill you. The boss also uses dead reckoning with the boulders, because they will try to lead you in whichever direction you're walking towards. Also, if you get within range of the boss, he'll actually try to execute a shockwave attack if you're within range. Here, as you can see, the character is also able to roll, which will make him invulnerable to any attacks the boss might launch at him. He's also able to place down a heal and stand in it, which will recover his health gradually. So now once he defeats the boss, he's able to go back to the stage selection. So here now he's able to pick a behavior for his new AI. So in this case, we're going to pick passive. So now on to the fire scene.
Okay, and this is our fire boss. As you can see, Nick now has an AI companion fighting alongside him, which is playing as the rogue class. And because he picked the passive behavior trait, it'll try to stay close to Nick and use his support abilities to help him out. Now the fire boss uses filtered randomness as an attacks, and also a trigger system, so whenever he gets hit, he's going to teleport away. The fire bubbles that you see going after him use flocking algorithm to home in on the player. And we also make use of state machines, because as you can see, the boss is going pretty crazy now. When it gets low health like that, he enters in rage mode. The difficulty amps up significantly. Wah wah. So unfortunately, Nick didn't come out on top, but this gives us a chance to see our game over screen. And get ready to see this one a lot. But if you try really hard and get pretty good, you might get to see our victory screen.
In closing, we want to discuss a few issues that we did have during development. Specifically, Unity Collab is still in beta, so it can be very buggy when moving assets. Out of our team of 5, 2 of us had an issue where a script would exist on our machines, but it wouldn't exist on 2 others' machines. But when they changed it to exist on their machine, it suddenly didn't exist on our machines. Another big issue for us was positioning our health bars to work on all screen resolutions. Unity has trouble adjusting on anything besides pixel size, so it was tough to get it to work across all machines. Some other limitations that we had were none of us are artists, so finding artwork was a little bit of a hard thing to do. Animations took a lot of time because none of us had experience with animating in Unity, and the time frame limited the number of encounters and complexity of AI that we could implement. We had 2 more planned bosses and another planned character class, but it was just too much for us to do in the amount of time we were given.
Okay, and we'd like to give a quick thank you to the resources that we used in our project. All of our music is in the public domain under the Creative Commons license. We'd like to give a thank you to www.opengameart.org, and especially Eric Skiff. We also use the Fantasy Top-Down Game Assets, 2D Tile Zone, and Fantasy Pixel Pack, which are available in the Unity Asset Store.